Hey everyone, I got an exciting show for you today. We are talking the Fresno market, something that I know in a fair amount of detail. We're bringing back an expert, Benny Clay, who's been with us a couple of times now, and we are going to talk about what's going on. We're going to just look at the data and kind of see what the data is telling us. And I'm always looking for the future to see what it makes sense. And if you guys recall, Benny Clay is the gentleman who sent me that chart on Sunday that I did a quick video on Sunday evening. So we will make sure we touch on that at the end. So let's welcome Benny Clay to the show. How you doing, Benny?
I'm doing great, Michael. Thanks for having me on again, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. You're willing to do the work and crunch some numbers. I got to give you some airtime, man, because this stuff's important for me to watch. I can watch the market online and get my opinions, but it's not until I see the data and it just smacks me in the face. It's like, oh my God, the market is nuts.
It's very different. It's something we haven't quite seen before. It's exciting to talk about, actually.
Yeah, you want to just talk about it in general? What's been going on? Let's call it the last 4 to 6 weeks, just in general, before we get into the data.
Yeah, so very general. We'll get into very generally here. What we're seeing here in the Fresno Clovis market is that the amount of listings or the amount of properties listed for sale are down roughly 25 to 30%. And the amount of buyers are up and pendings are up. So we're noticing there's more buyers out in the market generally, but the amount of listings and the inventory is going down. So it's something very unique that we haven't really seen before, and we're seeing prices going up because of it. It goes back to the old supply demand,
Yeah.
economics that we learned way back in high school. So it's pretty interesting and pretty cool to see. And I know you're excited to talk about it. I'm excited to talk about it. So
Yeah,
it's
I'm not only excited, but I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised. And let me just tell you this before we kind of jump into the data. So again, I've been doing
Sure.
this 20 years, looking every day. I've seen the craziest sellers market, which I'll call '06, '07. I've seen the best buyers market, 2010. And where we were sitting, let's call it January, just for level set, right? January 2020. We were probably leaning sellers market, but it was close, right? It was 65-45, maybe 70-30, but it was close, right? Then this health event happens, and then it's like, okay, what's going to
Right.
happen? So I know sellers are going to take it off because who wants to open their door and let people walk through? So it makes total sense, right? I get it. And then I'm like, okay, buyers. What's going to happen with the buyers? Some of them are going to get nervous. They don't want to sign up for a big mortgage payment, all of that. So that happened. But clearly what transpired in March and April and May is sellers clearly withdrew, hence 25-30% lower. Buyer demand dipped probably 10%, but when you have that ratio, it's still out of whack. It's clearly a seller's market.
Right.
And then what you surprised me with Sunday, that chart, and we'll hit it at the end, freaking
I love
smacked me.
it.
It smacked me upside the head. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe what is going on. What if this continues and is not a blip? Prices could go up double digits. And I can't believe prices could go up double digits in a pandemic. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I really appreciated that chart. I gave you props. I don't know if you actually watched the 5-minute video, but I had to do something Sunday when I got that. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, I thank you. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you giving me the props, and I was just happy to run the stats. And I love seeing the stuff myself. And you're a veteran, and so I just love hearing your opinion personally. And I love everything you stand for and do. So I'm just happy to be here. So thank you again.
Cool, cool. Well, let me share what you got. Let me make sure share screen works. So you prepared some initial data for us. You actually
Yeah.
want to talk real quick. You've made the Claisen group has made a transition here recently. You want to touch on that for folks?
Sure, sure. Yeah. So Jason and I, my partner, Jason Pritchard, he's been on your
Yep.
show a couple of times. He's my partner. We started the Claisen Group. It's an investment and agent / group or team that we started. And we started at Iron Key Real Estate,
Hmm.
which is owned by Brandon Gonzalez, a good personal friend of both of ours. And we decided about a week and a half ago, that we moved our team over to Keller Williams. We thought that the opportunity over here to grow the way that we wanted to grow, and we're doing a team-based thing. That Keller Williams is really big on teams, and
Hmm.
there's a reason why their model works for big teams. And so we kind of want to grow our team into something like that. So we decided to move over here to Keller Williams, Fresno, and we just moved shop a week and a half ago. We're still trying to get settled in,
Yeah.
but we're excited and excited what it's going to bring for our team and for the Central Valley as well.
Yeah. Who runs Keller Williams? I believe I had her on probably 2 months ago. What's her name?
Joanna Martin, the Martin
Yes.
family. Actually, it's a family. It's
Got it.
the grandmother started it. Now the mother owns it, and the daughter. And there's four or five children
Yeah.
all involved, and they all run the brokerage together.
Yeah, I had
The
Joanna
Martin
on.
family.
She was Brandon's obviously wonderful. I've had him on lots of times and will continue to if I'm lucky enough. But I had Joanna on, oh, I don't know, 10 weeks ago, 12 weeks ago, just to talk about, we were like right in the middle of this, and her and I have been doing this a long time. So she was nice enough to come on. So you're hooked up with some good people.
Yeah, we like it over here so far. We're excited.
All right, so let's get into this number and make sure the sharing's working. Oh, here we go. There's the first one. Fresno Clovis, May versus April. So again, this is May 2020, Fresno Clovis against April 2020. What do we got?
So we've seen for sale a decline in listings again, which is a shocker. And I think that was a shocker for you. We're all anticipating listings to go up as the pandemic or this health scares kind of slowed down and things were opening up and people get more comfortable with things. We thought that the market would pick up as far as the listings and inventory, and it looks like the inventory is down. I think that's a big shocker. I think that was a big shocker to you.
Yep.
It was a big shocker to us. And it's down 13% just from a month ago. So that tells you something right there alone.
Yeah, that's May data, right?
That's May data.
And the trend is continued or exacerbated, which we will show in a minute.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's crazy. All right. So yeah, let's be very, very clear. If there is one number that needs to grow for the market to get back to somewhat balance, it needs to be that for sale inventory. And it needs to get back to like 1,200.
Let's just go right over while you're talking about that and look at
there
the
it is.
May.
Yeah.
There it is right there. Like you said it, 1,200. It's right there, Michael.
Yeah.
So this time last year, we were at 1,283 active listings, and now we're only 817. That's a 36% difference. That's a big, big difference.
And again, if this doesn't change, if we stay sub 900 for the rest of 2020, I could promise very few things in life, but prices will go up. And again, that's all price points. What's buried in this data is I firmly believe Fresno has two markets. You have jumbo market and you have below jumbo, which is traditional.
Yep.
Your jumbo market, I'm willing to bet, is not as healthy as below jumbo.
I agree. I actually just sold a home on the Fort Washington golf course, and we were asking 1.49, and we're in contract for 1.25. So that gives you a little hint right there and kind of what's going on there. And then Scott Farrow and I, which you know Scott, we just listed another one for 1.5 right around the corner. And so, we'll see where that goes. But I mean, it's definitely slowed down a little bit there. I don't have the actual data to support that right now, but we could do that some other time if we want to.
Yeah, I look at it every day. And just so you're clear, I now have this channel and people are sending me data from across the country. It is very clear we have two markets in most major metros. There's a jumbo market, which is slowing, and in some areas slowing substantially.
Right.
And then there's traditional, which is freaking flying off the shelf.
Yes.
And if that continues, and then there's no listings, prices will go up double digits in a pandemic. Which again, for people that follow my channel, you may hear me say that and think it's good news. It's bad news if you follow my channel because I'm an investor. And I can't overpay, right? The people who can overpay are owners. They could put 3.5% down. They could hold on for a long term. We're investors, right? We're looking for cash flow. In 2006, as I wrote in my book, we paused for the first time after buying something every 6 to 9 months because no numbers made sense. We could very quickly get back there in 6 to 12 months. And part of me is happy. Let's be clear, right? I got a nice portfolio. I own a bunch of stuff, so I get it. But I'm not done. I want to buy more. So, it's getting risky out there for folks. So that's crazy. Okay. Sorry, a little diatribe.
No. You're all good.
So
Let's keep
sold.
talking.
So that makes sense. So solds went down about 10%. That's still that makes sense, right? Because again, solds in May means they went in contract in late March, which for Fresno meant stay-at-home orders were in place. They were obviously in place all of April. So you know that's frankly that's still healthy business, given that. Well, actually, in Fresno, real estate agents were always essential, right?
Yes. Well, no, for the first week or two, we were not. It
Okay,
was just, it took a week or two, but then right away they made us
they let you
deemed
go.
essential pretty close. We were able to go back to the office fairly
Okay.
quickly, if that makes sense.
It does, but still, it would make sense that sales were down because that was just people weren't looking, right? They were like, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Well, yeah, I think just the initial freak out of everybody not knowing what's going on, trying to gather data themselves to see how they feel about everything that's going on, just freaked everybody out. So everybody just put it on pause basically for a couple weeks,
Yeah,
till they figure out what was really going on.
and then you have that big ass pending number. That number
Oh my gosh, look at
is
that.
freaking nuts.
Up 47.5% from just last month.
Yeah,
And it's almost back to the numbers it was a year ago.
yeah,
So we're down 36% in listings, but people are still buying at the same rate. So that's just telling you that there's buyers are back out there ready to go, and we don't have
yeah.
enough inventory for them.
No, that you're down to basically a month of inventory, basically.
Yeah, yep,
Oh my God. Yeah,
yep.
that number leapt off the page when you sent me that on Sunday. I'm like, oh my God, this is not
Yeah,
okay, people.
no, and for quite frankly, when I ran the numbers, I was like, oh my gosh,
It's one of those
wow.
numbers you have to double check. You're like, did I do that right?
Yeah. I was double checking. I ran it again just right before we talked again. I'm like, that's correct. I'm like, dang, this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So let's try to make some positive spin in this. So I've already given you my warning as investors, right? If you're
Of
an
course.
investor in this market, it's really difficult to get cash flow. Owner occupants can outbid you. But let's flip the coin to Benny and Benny's team. This is the time where you need to go crack the whip and tell
Yes.
your real estate agents to make some freaking cold calls.
Yes. So this is where Jason and I were talking, and we're like, talking with the team, like right now is the time to get listings. So we're doing a lot of circle dialing, calling around our current listings, around old listings, just, in the last 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, look at this data. You guys might want to think about selling because prices are going to start going up, and you might be able to capitalize on all your equity. And if you were looking to make a move and do that, right now is probably the best time to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I've even seen just individual data about transactions you are in our joined circles, right? One of your partner, right, listed a house for 119, got bid up to 215. A follower of mine who lives in Fresno had a nothing house. He was hoping to get 175. He got 220.
Jeez.
I mean, it's yeah. If today it's about listings. Every call you make needs to be about getting listings. And again, what I would be telling folks is we just don't know what's happening in the future, right? Because what the naysayers are going to say today is this is short term. This is a blip. This is pent up demand, which it might be. And frankly, I hope it is, right? Because again, I want to buy more stuff and I'm not going to buy in a hot market like this. But you don't know.
Yes.
And again, let's be clear something else that Fresno and Clovis have going for it. You now have Silicon Valley tech workers who have been told they can live anywhere they want. And frankly, Fresno and Clovis are great options. You can get a gargantuan house in Fresno or Clovis for what it costs for a terrible little townhouse here. And oh, by the way, if you've got to come to the office one time a month, it's a 2.5-hour drive. I do it all the time. It's not that bad.
I agree with you. Fresno's its own bubble. The two, what was I going to say? The two jobs are the two industries that supply the most jobs here in Fresno and Clovis are healthcare and farming. And so those two things are always essential and do not go down. So the Fresno Clovis market is so much different from the up north and the down south. And from this pandemic, I think another layer that adds to that is that, everything's going virtual now.
Yeah.
That because of COVID, it's cut everybody's working, gone to virtual, and it's sped it up tremendously. Yeah. So, we're looking in 5 years doing everything virtual. Well, now that's kind of been done now. We don't have to work from We don't have to go to the office anymore. People
Yeah.
can work from home, so I don't need to live in these big cities anymore where it costs me all this money. I should go live somewhere where it's more affordable.
Yeah. And again, if I were to do it again, I would, if I was still in tech and all that stuff, I'd go to Fresno and Clovis in a heartbeat. I would get one of those 4,000 square foot, 2-story house on a golf course or one of those man-made lakes. And you know what? I'd go to the office 1 day, 2 days a month, and I'd just drive. Because the thing I wouldn't want to do is jump on an airplane, right? So that would take me out of Vegas and Arizona. It's a simple drive, 99, 152, 101, simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
Quick,
All right.
quick, easy drive. You've done it many times.
Oh yeah. Not much the last 2 months, but other than that, yeah, lots.
That's cool.
All right, what else we got? So
So
January. Yep.
Yeah, no, that we did last time. You can go down one more. We'll go to your famous
Yes.
Power District. This is your favorite zip code.
It is my favorite zip code. What do we got here? Okay, so sales are down a little bit.
Yep.
Solds went down.
Solds went down, but pending stayed the same.
Yeah. Okay.
So, it doesn't quite follow the trend of the Fresno Clovis in general. But what I want to point out is the amount of inventory has gone down drastically from a year, gone up tremendously in this part of it. So in May of 2019, there was only 1 month of inventory available in Tower. Now there's 3.3 months worth of inventory just in Tower. That's just Tower District. So Tower District is very unique in its own sense. Yep. It's not following the trend of Fresno and Clovis. So that's why we do these zip codes, because you can see there's difference, between zip codes sometimes.
Yeah, no, and the Tower District is unique because it's kind of the old town. It's cutesy, and it's definitely Flipper's Row, right?
Yes. Yeah. So if you get a good deal, a good investment, and good flip in Tower, it's going to sell like crazy. I mean, that. That's like it's Flipper's gold. You're exactly right.
For sure. So again, I just want to consume some of this data. You have average continuous days on market there in the middle. For May is 14 versus April is 48.
Yeah, it's gone down.
Yeah, so that probably means, I don't know what that means, right? So that's that's continuing days on market.
Cumulative days on market.
Or cumulative, I'm sorry, cumulative days. Okay.
Cumulative days on market,
That's interesting. So that's a lot of new listings.
Yeah.
So that probably means, again, just putting the data together, it probably means some stuff was pulled off, probably.
Yeah, some stuff was pulled off to say, I'm going to pause just for a second. That's exactly what that means, maybe, or just not sure what's going on kind of type thing.
Yeah.
But pricing hasn't really changed. So if you look at the next line down, which is sold price versus the original listing price, it's 2%. So that hasn't changed very much. Yeah. So it's kind of stayed even there.
Cool. Actually, you have that data in the Fresno Clovis as well, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go back to
Yes, I do. Okay.
Oh, 98% flat. Okay.
It didn't change one bit.
Yeah, and again, I think because again, this is the cumulative. So I think this is showing the difference between jumbo and non-jumbo, right? Your example of your golf course going for 125 or whatever it was on a list of 14 versus Jason's 199 going for 215, right? So it's pretty crazy. So all right. So what else do we got in here? All right. So then we wanted to talk about. Let me stop this share. That's all you have for this report, right? Just on.
Yeah, that's all I have. I mean, I wanted to jump into maybe 92711. I just didn't have time to get it done before we got on here. I apologize for that.
No problem. So let's bring up this one. This is the one that freaked me out. This is what you sent me. You sent me Sunday, and I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
So
this is the chart right here. This explains everything to a T, really.
Yeah. So what I would ask people, we've already kind of talked about the left-hand part of this, or the top half, this little chart, because that goes through May. What I want to call your attention to is the part of the chart that says today's stats. Look at that.
So this compares basically the first 2 weeks of June versus the first 2 weeks of May last year. And the changes of May just in 2 weeks. So, the first 2 weeks of the previous month. Yeah. So what we're looking at here is the inventory's gone down 20% more again.
Yes.
Just in the first 2 weeks, which is astounding to me.
Yeah. And again, let's just bring this back in. This is crazy, right? Because we were freaking out when for sale went down 13%. And if you want to see that again, folks, look to the left hand of the chart.
Yep.
For May, it went from 941 to 817. And now what you have is just May 1st to May 13th compared to June 1, June 13th. It's down
Yep.
another 20%. Oh my God.
Yes. Crazy. But the amount of solds and pendings are up. What that tells us is that activity's up, but inventory's low, and this gap is starting to shrink.
Yeah. This, again, it's only 2 weeks. I don't want to be accused of being somebody that's, throwing stuff out there. This could certainly be short term, but let's just say, this is not the trend I expected. When you and I were talking, Benny, let's call it 3 weeks ago, I was like, we get this health thing behind us. Fresno, California opens up. You're going to get a wave of listings. I don't know why I thought that now looking at it, but that's what I thought. I'm like, because I just can imagine people sitting down ready to sell for 2 months and going, God damn it, I can't sell. God damn it, I can't sell. God damn it, I can't sell. Now we open up, demand explodes, but the listings are nowhere to be found. It's like,
yeah, no, it's mind boggling. I was the same. I felt the same way you did. Kind of makes sense. Like everyone's just COVID. I can't do it right now. I just got to wait. And we're like, dude, the market's going to flood in May, June, July. And we're just like, I'm looking at these stats. I'm going, what is going on here?
Yeah. Yeah. So again, this is crazy. Again, for active listings down, solds up, pendings up. And again, let's remember, pendings are up 21% after being up 47%.
Yes. And honestly, you said there's those two price brackets, right? So what we're noticing with working with our clients on the real estate agent side of things, and even on our flips, we're noticing multiple offers. It's getting very competitive on the buyer side, in that sub jumbo market, where everything's get competitive between like 200 and 400,000. If anything's in there that's good, it's getting multiple offers, and it's getting bid up, and people are getting more money for the houses right now because of it. Because there's just, again, it shows there's just so much demand and not enough inventory.
Yeah, we are clearly in a two market scenario. And next time we do this, it'd probably be good. It'd probably be interesting to see if we can. I don't know if the data set's easy to do, but whatever the jumbo loan limit is, like 408 or 409 or something like that in Fresno. Is that what it is?
No, they moved it up. I want to say it's closer to the mid fours. I'll get that exact data for you from my lender, and I'll make sure we have that next time we do this for sure.
Because that's why I looked at 93711, if you remember last time, right? Because that was an example of a zip code that's mainly jumbo.
Right.
And, the last time we looked at it, it was clearly slowing. Days on market's up, all of that. So.
Yep. Next time we do this, I'll have it ready. No.
You don't need to apologize, dude. You did this on a moment's notice, so it's all good. It's all good. Don't stop beating yourself up. This is what people want to see. Real-time stuff. Yeah. Cool. So this is, so again, what I want people to realize from this is unusual. I didn't expect this. This is very 2006 like, given the disconnect between the amount of demand and sellers, right? 2006, I invested in it. I bought stuff. I sold stuff. It was really name your price because there was so much demand. And now let's be clear. The demand was fake. It was bogus. It was bad lending, but it feels the same. And let's also say price points are lower. That's the other thing I want people to realize. I sold a house, 1818 North Drive East, 93703. I talk about it all the time. I sold it for $264. Today, that house is worth like $180. So when people come back to me and say, well, is it the market going to blow up? Fresno's nowhere close to that absurd pricing, right? The house is 15 years later and it's 40% below what I sold it for. Right.
Wow.
Right.
That's crazy.
If Norris Drive goes from 180 to 260, or better yet, 180 to 300, I'm going to sell everything I own. I'm going to be out.
I'm retiring.
I'm done. Right. But yeah, it's nowhere close to that. So I think Fresno still has room to grow. It is still highly risky. If you're a first time investor in Fresno, stop, learn your market, watch what we're doing, see what's going on. You want to buy in a more balanced market. Today, owner occupants can outbid you. And just to put this out there, 4 weeks ago, I was making 10 to 15 offers a week and losing them all, but I was learning. Now, as of last week, I'm not even writing offers because everything has multiple bids. Anything that's reasonable, right? So why bother? Right?
Yeah, I would follow your advice, Michael, if I was a new investor, and I would just be like really looking at stats for the next couple months to understand what's going on and see if there's anything that's going to stay steady. Because right now we're seeing from month to month it jumping around quite a bit,
yeah.
which means it's a little unstable, and so it's hard to predict what's going to happen, or for your ARV and the stuff you need to predict for when doing an investment. So you really need to look at these stats. I would study the market a little longer if I were a newer investor, and make sure that I understand what's going on before I decide to jump in, like you said.
Yeah. So Benny, that was very great, man. Great for doing that. And again, the reason we're talking about Fresno is because I can ask intelligent questions and we can really dive into the data. But I see Fresno being like 90% of America. There are two markets. There's a jumbo market, which is probably slowing, and there's a below jumbo market, which is probably crazy. And why I'm telling all of you that is be careful. Learn your market. This is danger time. If you buying at a peak hurts, right? Let's just realize that buying at a peak hurts. Never buy a negative cash flow, right? I call those alligators. This is a time to be careful. And also, I was wrong. 5 weeks ago, I did not expect this. I am fully comfortable to say I was wrong. My crystal ball was broken. Sorry, right? I thought there'd be more listings. Listings are down 40%, then they're down another 20%. I mean, what are we doing here? I just can't believe it. So, any closing comments, Benny? How can they get a hold of you now that you changed firms?
Same way, look me up on social media. We've got the Claisen group on Instagram and Facebook. You can look me up, Benny Clay. I'm on both platforms there. You can also, my email is benny@theclaisengroup.com, and Benny is BENNIE. You can reach me either that or social media again. I'm easy to get a hold of, and look forward to helping out anybody that needs any help.
Very cool, Benny. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put your email right in the first line of the description. So if anybody wants to get a hold of you, they can do it that way. So, buddy, thanks for your time. Thanks for doing this. And again, dude, that Sunday report shocked me. That was crazy.
Shocked me too, man. I'm enjoying these stats, and I look forward to doing more of this with you if you'll have me back on.
Absolutely. We'll do it several times a month.
Sounds good, my man.
All right. Take care.
All right, you take care.